Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Crackin' a Cold One podcast. I'm joined today. What do you want to go by? What do you want to go by? This is the whole world watching.
Tushki Matushkla.
All 5 people of the whole world.
Kaleb Johnsen. hello, Caleb. How's it going?
It's going good.
And as always, joined by Mike. How's it going?
Better than usual.
How's the I-Rated squad going?
Better than usual. We gained a whole 15 subscribers.
No, you didn't.
In the past.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We went from 0 to 15.
No, you
All
didn't.
of my YouTube channel subscribers, Kaleb Johnsen, if you were wondering.
We'll put that link in the description below.
All 7 of my subscribers are people whose phones I've stolen and subscribed while they're not looking.
All right, I live a very sad life too. My brother's not my brother, my friend's older brother. There we go. So I was like on one of the school computers, right? And I was able to, his account was left on there, and so I just signed on to YouTube, and I just subscribed to my account and got me a whole.
whole 1 subscriber.
I think at the time it was like that was my 16th subscriber. I don't think I'm much far. I think I'm at like 25 now.
Well, you actually have content on your channel. I don't.
You have a channel, Caleb?
Sort of. It's attached to my Google account, and the only video on it is a Joe edited video that I made for school.
I haven't held a paintball gun.
Oh yeah, so here for you audio listeners out there. Oh wait, we only have audio listeners. I'm playing with my paintball gun right now. We're going paintballing tomorrow.
That's gonna be fun.
I have to live with the terror of the fact that my band teacher and my
band teacher.
I'd say my tech crew teacher, but they have made I do theater. I don't do tech crew, but I associate myself with this man. They have made, both of these 2 teachers, both veteran paintballers, have made a pact to hunt me down on the battlefield. Remind you that the average age of our teachers is like
35.
26.
No.
It's fine. We'll break it even. 30.
So I assume these gentlemen were all in their prime, I guess, basement dwellers, and now they've come for the revenge on the rest of the teenage gentleman population.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna wreck house.
This is first job. Like, actual teaching job.
Oof.
I think he worked as like a library. He worked in the Westerville Public Library before.
Hey guys, please help me reach 100 subscribers. Thank you.
Guys, you should be my friend on Facebook, because that's the only social media I have, because I'm sad.
Did I mention that this was the 0 subscriber special?
Guys, go follow me on my,
Stop!
Is this your first... Wait, is this the first podcast?
No, this is the 3rd one.
The 3rd? Where did the other 2 go?
I have the other 2 recorded, and they're gonna... this is probably
Are you gonna air them all at once?
That's stupid.
Gradually all at once. I'm gonna
Those 2 statements do not go together, Joe. Gradually and all at once are opposites.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
So you're gonna air them in succession.
A little bit, but gradual, very slow succession. I might air them all at once.
So are you gonna post them like quarter of a video, half a video, full video, and then you got the full video, and then you have another quarter of the video?
No, I'm not gonna post the whole however long.
Today you only get half of our podcast. Come back to
Stop, Michael. Can you
Nobody
please be
cares
quiet?
about foosball.
We're
Okay.
not talking about that. So, Caleb, I see you bought your own paintball gun. I wonder how much money that saved you.
Well, $15. See, the thing is that I intended on going paintballing more, but I have the hindrance of not being able to drive a motor vehicle. That may change within a few months.
Shut up.
When you go to driver's ed.
Anyways, the paintball gun, I bought it refurbished, so it's pretty much new on the inside. It just looks old on the outside. Yeah, that's the trauma map. We'll talk about that in a second. This gun cost me $50, and then the hopper cost me $10, and the tank cost me $40. So overall, it cost me $100, and it really wasn't worth it. I mean, maybe it'll be worth it someday in the future, but not now.
So me being kind of a newbie to paintball, I mean, I've only gone a couple other times.
I've only gone twice.
Oh, well, same. Is it kind of like Fortnite, I guess?
Okay, anyways, moving on. So the trauma map I mentioned earlier.
Just turn it off.
The map that I have lots of trauma over is it's called
the trauma map.
it's referred to often as Black Hawk Down.
Oh.
See, there is a plane crashed on that field, and what they like to do is they'll take. So one day, I'm sitting in the safe area where you won't get shot because it's got a place where you can refill your gas and whatnot. But they pull. Yeah, you have to refill your air tank, you dingbat. Anyways, they take 4 people aside, line us up against the wall.
This is the man who lost his eye.
So I've never seen Black Hawk Down, but my friend Joseph here has told me about it quite a few times. And so they lined us all against the wall, gathered all of our group together, and said, "Have any of you seen Black Hawk Down?" I looked over at the map, and then I'm like, no! So suddenly it's me, I think... Anyways, they shoved all 4 of us behind this plane and then took pot shots. I think right threw a paint grenade at me. It was quite traumatizing. I didn't make it. I was hiding under the belly of the plane and a bullet ricocheted into my leg. Paintball ricocheted into my leg.
Back in a bullet ricocheted, shattered my bones. I had to have my leg
Paintball is traumatizing.
amputated.
Okay, I think the other most traumatizing experience I had is Miss Kate, the teacher who usually leads this event. She had taken her team, and it was a terrorist. It was sort of like
terrorist win.
So we have.
It was shh.
Islam
I'm telling a story,
Islamophobes.
Mike. Anyways, it was
Islam versus the Islamophobes.
Anyways, so this particular scenario was there were terrorists who had hidden. I was a terrorist. We had hidden a bomb.
Of course.
Yes. We had hidden a bomb, and Miss Kate's team was tasked with fighting said bomb. Anyways, this particular map was all shipping crates. Some were open-ended on both sides. Some were open on one side. See, what happened is I made the mistake of getting... So, it turned out I was the last person alive on my team.
Yeah.
And Miss Kate's entire team was prowling around. And so then I got stuck in I was in a one-ended shipping container. And then I see their whole team... A one-ended shipping container. And then I see their whole team walk by. And do you know what dear listener... The genius thing I did, I took a pot shot at their group.
Uh-oh.
Their entire group of 10 people.
You just awoke in the nest.
And then I ducked back, and then you just hear clang, 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 on paintballs hitting and I couldn't tell where they were hitting the container. Let me finish, Mike.
Sorry.
I couldn't tell where they were hitting the container, whether they were going to hit me. I'm just like, and then the ref calls time, and I'm just like, Lord, thank you. Have mercy upon my soul.
Are you done?
Yes.
So, when you were planting this bomb...
We just put it somewhere. I don't remember.
When you were planting this bomb, on this map, was there a scale model of the Twin Towers?
Oh my gosh.
No, there was not.
Oh.
Actually,
when I talk about paint...
not exactly.
That was actually real life.
But there were 2 shipping containers next to each other with a plane on top.
Oh,
I don't think that you can do that. I don't think that this...
Were they the same height?
There's also a bus that if you're small enough, like Joe, you could probably climb into, but it's filled with paint, so you don't really want to.
As Lydia would always say, I'm not small, I'm fun size.
I remember that. She's always holding it over the fact that we used to do 4 days.
She still says that, and it drives me insane.
The fact that she's 4 days older than me. I'm like,
4
yeah, but I have a
days
job
older.
and a life.
Well, she dances from 5 to 9.
Stop.
So
No.
You dance
So
from
I've
5 to
been
9?
I've been getting
Do you have
this.
to have that barrel on it, or no, to shoot it?
This
The
you
hopper.
have to, otherwise
Oh.
it's completely inaccurate. But anyways,
just wondering.
so I think one of my favorite jokes, this TV show I've been watching is called Psych. It's absolutely amazing. It's on Amazon. You should go watch it.
Psych, that's the wrong number.
No, but it's about this guy. So essentially, he's hyper observant, and he's always been tipping off the police about crimes.
yeah.
And the police brought him in because they thought he was a criminal. Otherwise, how would he be tipping off? And the way he got out of it was he pretended he was a psychic. And he's so good at what he does that they believe him. And so now he works for the Santa Barbara Police Department. And it's a comedy. It's absolutely hilarious. But I think that his dad is the next police officer. Mm-hmm. And his dad is the next police officer. And often episodes will have flashbacks to him in 1988, I think, when Sean, the main character, was a kid. And a fireman had come to his school name, like Fireman Dan or something.
Yeah.
And then when he came home, he's like, Dad, I want to be a fireman. And his dad's a cop, so naturally didn't like this. He's like, what, was Fireman Dan actually sober? You shouldn't become a fireman, Sean. You should become a cop. The real heroes. And then the episode, they're investigating some arsons. And at the end, he was talking to his dad. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't be... No. So after he had almost died in a fire, his dad came up to him and said, see, Sean, this is why I made sure to always keep you off the pole. It was amazing.
That's a funny one. I as maybe some of you know from viewing previous, just talks with me, have this long aspiring, will probably never happen dream of becoming president of the several United States that we live in.
Really?
Yeah. And
I've never heard this before. Never, ever.
So I was talking to Ian, right? And he...
oh, yes. I
like,
know where this is going.
He's like, Joe, I'll definitely vote for you first term and a second term. I'll vote for your re-election a second term. And I'm like, well, maybe if we're lucky, I can squeeze in another third term, Ian. And I kind of elbowed him
wink, wink.
Yeah. And he was like, Joe, you know that's against the Constitution. If you run for a third term, I'll have to assassinate you. I'm like, okay. Not running for a third term.
Speaking of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, have you ever read,
Gay?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever read, oh gosh, why? Oh, The Importance of Being Earnest?
Yes.
You have read it in Mr. Jeff's class?
Yeah.
That is the best play ever. It's written by Oscar Wilde, who was later sentenced to 2 years hard labor, and because of this he died. He was sentenced to 2 years of hard labor because he was gay. Anyways, he was an absolutely amazing writer, and this play is the funniest thing. It's the most superficial thing ever, but it's so good and hilarious.
Did you read that one essay about I can't, you'll probably remember the name, the one about the argument for
eating babies?
Yes.
I don't remember the name of that essay, but I do remember it was written by some Irish author. It wasn't serious,
but it made sense.
But it made so much sense.
Oh my gosh.
It was disturbing how much sense it made, because he was talking about the fact that the number of poor people would go down if you just ate their babies, and then there would be less poor people, but you could also feed the poor people by having them eat their babies, so there would be less need for food and less poor people, meaning there would be less need for food.
You're killing 40 birds with one giant baby-eating stone.
Yeah. It's a very good essay. I remember, I was so enamored with Mr. Jeff's classes the first time I went, because, the first thing we did was we had this philosophical essay about the feelings of lobsters. Because we were
I read that, too.
Mm-hmm. Did you read the one about the Indiana State Fair?
I don't think so.
I can't remember the name of the author, but it was so funny. It was very amusing.
Yes, I have a whole...
Oh, my siblings did that at Disney World. There's this little Jedi experience the kids can do at Disney World.
Right now, outside of Star Tours,
yeah,
there's
Jedi and they
training.
will take the kids around.
I was just too old
around
when I
the
went last year.
parks. Yeah, they'll take you around the parks, and then they'll
Wait, no, it wasn't.
You'll go up on stage and do a little performance thing. Jaina and Brantley were salty for quite a lot of the Disney trip, and you just see this. Jaina just had this look on her face while she was doing it. It was
Jaina, your sister.
Jaina, my sister,
and Brantley, your brother.
I have an adopted sister named Jaina, but I don't really consider her adopted. We adopted her as a baby. So my sister Jaina,
yes,
my brother Brantley, and my brother Zach, who's 13 days younger than me. Long story, but yeah, we did that, and that was interesting.
Did you ever do the Jedi thing?
No, I went 2 summers ago, Joe.
Okay, so I went last year, and I was way too old to do it last year.
I was 14.
But I went the last time I went before that was when I was 9, and I did that, and I had so much fun. It was I don't know.
I think I was 13.
How do you like the new Star Wars movies?
Well, I have not seen Solo yet.
Solo's good.
I've heard it's good.
It's very good.
Episode 8 was an atrocity. Episode 7 was tolerable.
No, here's what I think about episode 7.
Well, here's the problem with Disney is trying to make their own Star Wars now, and it's not good. They could literally just throw out the old cans. Disney, why don't you just make it and make it War Stars or something.
Basically, because it goes against completely what's well. Here's what I think about 7. 7, like, everyone was going into it. Like, if you like can pull back like however many 4 years ago.
Won on nostalgia. Like, I remember being in the theater watching that, and as soon as the duh and then the beginning scroll started, everybody started clapping because there hadn't been a Star Wars movie since early 2000s.
It was one of the most I believe sought after movies to see in like ever, because everyone wanted to see it. But like what I thought was weird was like everyone was like, oh, Disney's making it, they're gonna Disneyfy it, it's gonna suck, it's gonna be so bad. And then they did Disneyfy it, and it did suck to an extent, but it didn't necessarily. And I think everyone kind of like harped on it, and plus, like you said, the nostalgia from it. Like, everyone thought like, wow, it's the best movie ever. But it really wasn't. It was...
Disney is extremely hit and miss when it comes to movies. Disney either has an absolutely astounding, amazing work of art, or their movies are trash. Well, for example, the Marvel movies. They've been amazing.
Amazing, yes.
So good. Like, they're
so good.
They're so good, I've become desensitized to how good they are, and I'm getting bored with the movies. Like...
Just please make a bad one.
You've done too well. You've made so many of these good
Star
movies.
With Star Wars though, if you group all of the ones in the same, like, you can, the episodes they've missed, like, we can all agree they missed, but like Rogue One was good.
Rogue One was astounding.
Solo from you didn't see it, but I solo. It was pretty good.
Great.
It was very good. I liked it. I did not like that Donald Glover was in it though.
And then the fun thing, Lando pansexual.
That was never confirmed, I don't think.
Oof.
I'm pretty sure just some LGBTQ AIP plus minus KKK 66777 plus minus 443
Joe, you're gonna get
2.
punched in the face. Not by me, but someone else.
One of those guys like went in like, wow, the robot makes a funny joke about how Lando could be dating the robot, but he's not, so that makes him pansexual, right? And everyone's like,
oh, then there's have you ever heard how much like Elsa is used as an LGBTQ figure? Because
she doesn't date someone?
No, because she has this thing she has to hide her whole life, and then she comes out with her ice abilities and almost kills a man. See, it's a very good metaphor what that happens with gay.
Just like when
you come out and then somebody dies. I honestly don't have a crush on any girls in our grade.
Yeah, because you're asexual, pansexual, gay.
Heck no. I'm a Mormon boy.
You're a gay boy.
What? No.
Mommy equal gay.
By the way,
so many pictures of yourself.
Mormons are not
Gay.
polygamists,
Oh.
just FYI.
I don't know what you're talking about.
100% illegal.
Polygamy is okay.
Look at that. That's illegal.
No, it's not because it's sidewards.
My turtle swims sideways. So here's what I think we should talk about at this point. We should talk about the Boy Scouts, Scouts of America. So I have been a Boy Scout.
Scouts BSA, or they should
Scouts.
just call it Scouts BS.
I'm going to call it Boy Scouts, because that's what it is still currently. It has not switched over to Scouts of America.
Or as its
Joe.
hyphenated form, BS.
Anyways, it would just be SA. Anyways, I have been a Boy Scout for quite some time now. I'm very close to my Eagle Scout, which is basically like a free ticket through life, because like that is a huge advantage on literally anything. Somebody could be more qualified than you for a job, but you have an Eagle Scout and will get hired. Like, it does big things for you, and you can get like $50,000 scholarships to college. It's amazing.
Yeah.
As soon as I finish my Eagle Scout, I'm out of Boy Scouts.
Nice.
Boy Scouts is no longer based off of the morals. I mean,
So do you have
the girls.
to be Boy Scouts in your religion?
I don't have to, but I choose to. In fact, yeah, but I choose to. But Boy Scouts was originally adopted. The Mormon Church is a heavy investor in the Boy Scout program.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why it's going to be so devastating to them when they pull out.
You said pull out.
But they adopted it because it was a program with good morals, and they no longer have that anymore. They become politicized and even secular, and the church is going to make its own program similar to Boy Scouts.
It's called Mormon Boys.
All the outdoorsiness and camping and whatnot.
Yeah.
gross camping.
So was that
Camping is the
was
best.
that remind me? I don't know. I really like got sick of the whole thing and stopped following it. But like
I have to.
I heard that there was like they were making it mandatory for condoms.
Okay, what was happening there was a scout jam. There was the World Scout Jamboree. It was at the World Scout Jamboree, and they were only required there. They weren't required everywhere. So it's like,
Listen, we don't want you to do it, but if you have to, just look over. No, but don't do it. But if you must, we have our full selection. Big size, small size.
Okay, anyways,
but don't. But if you do,
that is one of the main
size,
reasons.
small
That is one of the
size.
main reasons. That's another thing. I can't.
they're technically not like Scouts of America yet. They're
Still Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Oh no, Girl Scouts shut down.
No, Girl Scouts hasn't shut down.
I thought they did. I thought they went out
They're
of
still
business.
alive, strong, and big. They're just stupid. Holy crap!
She sent that to me. I don't. Go back. Go away.
They're still alive and well. They were just absolutely ticked when Boy Scouts won.
This was actually when we were in 7th grade.
Guys, come on.
You guys
Back
are
on the
scary
subject here about condoms.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
please educate me on the.
It's dumb. BSA they no
should
longer
show me
have
pictures.
morals,
Let's see,
and the program is not what it once was. Well, I'm out.
Yeah. I don't know.
My current Eagle Scout project is actually really cool. So I'm a big aviation enthusiast. We can after this I want Joe. I'm gonna have Joe look up some random aviation questions and see how many of them I can answer.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Well, then I'll look. You know what? Just do it, please.
Okay.
Anyways,
Continue with your story.
So I contacted some of the airports in the area.
Yes, like
John
anyone
Glenn,
would.
John Glenn International.
Hi, this is John Glenn from the
I
dead.
contacted Rickenbacker Airport and I contacted OSU's airport. The only one that contacted me back was OSU's airport, and they actually had a project for me that's really cool. So on OSU's airport property, they found some headstones about 2 feet underground.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this graveyard is hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 years old. They don't know how big it is, so my job is going to be to figure out how big it is, and then to dig it up, not the bodies, the headstones, and make it into a nice graveyard. I think it's going to be a really fun project. I get to work with the staff at OSU. Maybe I can bum a ride in a plane. Yeah. Wait, I'm going to talk about some stuff. So
recently my wife divorced me. My children have been taken away from me. I've been put in prison. This is the only communication I have with the outside world.
No. Something very sad has been happening in the aviation industry lately, and that is the death of
They're
the
killing children.
Boeing 747. The Boeing 747
So sad.
is likely to be recognized anywhere in the world. It's the plane with the hump on top.
Joe, are you attempting to jump here?
Anyways,
Where do you get all these pictures?
it's thankfully its lease on life has been extended many years due to its cargo capacity, but it's kind of sad. It was a gorgeous plane that I hope to fly someday, but that may never happen. Oh, did you hear about the F-35 crash?
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
They're investigating all
Now
of them.
all of our F-35s are grounded. Did you know that is the single most expensive military project in that category ever?
Honestly, I think we should go back
$1
to fighter planes.
trillion dollars.
We should go back to propelled fighter planes.
Propeller fighter planes?
Yep.
Those are called light fighter aircraft. Then they actually have been considering making some.
That's dumb.
Well, they're not for fighting other planes. They're for helping ground troops.
Fixing normal cool people.
And also remember, our military hasn't fought an actual country in years. We've been fighting semi-organized terrorists.
Well, the last time we did fight a country, we really didn't fight them. We proxy fought them.
What, Vietnam?
No, technically Syria, you could say.
Yeah, we've been supplying the rebels, but the Russians have actually been supplying the rebels and giving them actual troops. So
No, Russians backed the
they backed the
Saddam-
Syrian government.
Yeah.
And they've been doing way better at backing them than we are at backing the rebels. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the U.S. backing rebels, because
They're
every
not.
time
They're
they
Islamic
do...
extremists, and
Yeah.
we should pull out of Syria.
Every time we back rebels, they turn into the terrorists that are our problem.
We should pull out of Syria or go into Syria. You know what? Someone's not. They're not report. The media's not reporting. Which,
Of course, I don't want to talk.
the media's not reporting about this. We have killed, I believe, it is up to 13 of the leading ISIS members.
Oh yeah,
Killed
and
by
we
US
captured their one of their main capital cities. They're on ISIS will never be dead. The terrorist organization will always still exist.
Well, because they have now they have a friend in Bashar al-Assad, or not Bashar al-Assad, Boko Haram, and now that they can retreat back to.
But the Islamic State is near gone. Like the actual country, because a lot of these groups, like the Taliban and whatnot, they don't own any. They weren't making their own country. They were taking over an existing country's government.
And then
But they're trying to make their own Islamic State, which is almost gone.
It's like Zionism, but bad.
Zionism, but bad.
I took the Islamophobia test and I failed.
Israel has the most secure airport in the world. It's called Ben Gurion Airport. It takes 3 hours to get through security.
Islam's versus Islam.
It's absolutely, but their national airline, I think it's Tel Aviv, has not had has not had a terrorist attack since
yesterday.
Has not had a plane hijacking or a terrorist attack since 1960.
Yes.
They have an incredible record. Their commercial planes carry flares.
What? Well, that's because Israel.
They distract missiles.
What if we just said, "Sorry, United States is closed, no refunds"?
Oh, so one of the apostles of the Mormon Church, his name is Dieter F. Uchtdorf.
For all you people that are normal, that's kind of like the Pope.
Or no, it's actually kind of more like
the cardinal.
He's more like the cardinal, one of the cardinals. Yeah. Anyways, he was actually let me tell you a little bit about his story. He lived in Eastern Germany at the time the Berlin Wall was up.
Oh, I remember this
His
story.
family had to move west due to persecution of their religion in the East.
Persecution?
Persecution, yeah. That.
Prostitution.
Anyways, so the majority of his family got over the border. There was a train that went past the Berlin Wall.
Right.
But then went back over the Berlin Wall before passengers were allowed off. Well, they paid a porter and jumped off the train. But Dieter and his mom... They chose to hike up a mountain, and they stopped. And when they thought they had crossed the border, they had stopped for their picnic lunch they had brought with them. Mm-hmm. But then they saw the border crossing up ahead, and they're like, "Oh, pack up the picnic, we gotta go!" Because a Soviet border patrol agent could have come by at any time, and that's how they got through. And then he eventually immigrated to the United States. He actually joined the U.S. Air Force. He became a pilot and worked for Lufthansa, which is the German national airline. And let me look up the story here. He helped I think it was Lufthansa. A Lufthansa plane was hijacked, and he helped get the hijacked plane back.
That's heroic.
Yeah. A lot of these men, they gave up. Like President Nelson, he dropped his heart surgery career when he was called as a apostle for the church. And that was a long time ago. Like a long time ago.
Was he I hope he wasn't in the middle of heart surgery when he decided to drop it.
No, he wasn't. He saved that Chinese opera star.
Yeah. Well, I got a Jake Paul poster up there, and I got a Jojo Siwa poster. How do you pronounce Jojo's last name?
Siwa.
Jojo Siwa poster.
Still don't have any idea who that is.
God bless you. God bless you.
That's my second yet life.
Do you see what's terrifying but like awesome at the same time? They at the Ronald Reagan congressional
they made the Ronald Reagan
hologram.
Yes, that is like the coolest thing ever.
It like actually looks real though.
I was so disappointed when I went to Disney World the last time because this was right after Trump had been elected. Wait, no, it wasn't. No. I was asking you to watch out for the Trump bot for me at Disney World.
I went there, and then the group after me, that's when that whole incident happened where it like got on the news. Like some guy yelled at profanities at the Trump bot.
I want to see I think I looked at pictures of the Trump bot. It's kind of creepy.
Like I went in, I think it was me, and then like the next group who went in. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was pretty cool. Like especially for like Disney doing it, it was definitely good.
Disney is biased the majority of the time, but the Hall of Presidents can be non-biased.
The Hall of Presidents. Also, I kept saying there was a trivia, and then the lady was like, like who was elected the first president of the United States, and I would jerkingly, I think, answer Al Gore every time. Al Gore is my president.
Do you know what I saw when I was at Disney World?
What'd you see?
I saw a squirrel go into a stroller and come out with an entire
baby
massive a massive baggie filled with trail mix and run off with it. And I'm like, wow. That squirrel, like, the wildlife is they're so accustomed to humans feeding them that, like, a squirrel will literally walk right up to you and grab your finger.
Ah, not my finger.
What was your? Let's go to each park and then say our favorite thing.
That sounds fun.
Magic Kingdom.
7. I mean, yeah. I almost got decapitated on
Yeah,
No,
no,
you
you
didn't.
didn't.
Space Mountain.
No, you didn't. It's meant to make you feel like that, but you don't do it. Magic Kingdom, best thing there. I don't know. I think Magic Kingdom, you're just being there is pretty cool.
I really like Space Mountain because Space Mountain.
Epcot is you have to go in the Epcot thing with a certain mindset.
Do you know what my favorite thing about Epcot was? So, there was this Disney staff member there. She stopped me and my dad for a survey, and she's like, "Thank you for taking this survey. Do you have any other questions? Can I help you find anything?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was being sarcastic.
Can you point with one finger?
No, I said, "Yes. Can you tell me where there is free food?" I was being totally sarcastic. She's like, "Oh, there's a store right around the corner where you can try all kinds of free sodas from all around the world for free." And I'm like, "Why, thank you." That was a good day.
Have you ever had Mexican Coke at Disney?
I know
at
what Mexican
Epcot?
Coke is.
No, I'm talking about Mexican Coca-Cola. I
No.
mean, I'm not talking about past your bedtime Disney. I'm talking about family Disney. Mexican Coca-Cola, pretty good. You can get it at Mexico, I think.
Takis came
Epcot.
from Mexico, and that's the best thing that's ever come from Mexico.
I don't get why the whole
Came from Mexico.
dem is hot.
They're my favorite chip of all time.
Really? I
love
think
them.
honestly, you're gonna hate me. I think the Flaming Hot Cheetos are better.
I don't think the Flaming Hot Cheetos are better, but the Flaming Hot Cheetos are like one of two good Cheetos.
They are very
Normal Cheetos are disgusting.
Yes,
I hate them.
I know.
I despise them.
How about the new Burger King thing? Or it is Burger King, right? Who's doing like the Cheetos filled with cheese and
We're
like,
not talking about that.
they make me sick. The Daily Reporter, the guy who always does the food review stuff, he's quoted for saying such things like you know who this guy is, right? Like he does
On the radio?
the Daily Report, like his name's that, but like he'll just go to like a restaurant
No.
and order food and then sit in his car and then eat it and like say that was good, or my day is my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Just he'll do stuff like that, and he really liked he's very picky, and he really liked the Cheetos.
The Taco Bell fries are good.
Taco Bell fries are amazing.
Anyways,
Nachos
what's your
fry.
favorite thing at Animal Kingdom?
Definitely the not the Matterhorn.
Expedition Everest?
Yes.
Do you know what happened when we were there? So, when we were there, it started to rain. Sprinkle a little. So, suddenly the whole park was deserted.
Yeah.
And suddenly, there was no line for Expedition Everest. We won it like 6 times before they shut down the ride due to rain. And we were in line when they shut down the ride. So, they gave us free fast passes.
The lady there, I probably shouldn't say this on air because there's Disney everywhere. The lady there, who I will remain nameless because I want her to keep her job, she like there was some sort of loophole with the fast passes where like, you know how like you can like get a placeholder?
Yeah.
Well, we just get like because of how large our family was, we just got a placeholder like every like in a certain order that we just ran 6 times. And the lady could have easily been like, no, you can't do that. But she was like, no, go ahead. Go ahead. And so we got to go in the fast pass line like 6 times and ride it like 6 consecutive times.
Do you know what happened with us? So the first day we went in, so we were staying at Shades of Green Resort, which is a military resort. My dad's not in the military, but he works for the military, so we got to stay there.
Can you give us his serial number and last 4 digits of his credit card, please?
Anyways,
More specifically me, I'd like to buy some V-Bucks.
Anyways, so we got to get in the park early, and we got in the park early. This lady goes, "Do you want to ride 7 Dwarf Mine Train because that's one of the most popular rides in Magic Kingdom right now.
Yeah.
Which normally has like 2-hour lines during the day, which 2-hour lines is unheard of at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, and we like, yeah, we were going to ride it right now. And she's like, oh, it's closed. Here's a unlimited fast pass to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Unlimited.
Yes. Like, we could go as many times as we want through the fast pass line. And 3 fast passes for any other rides of our choice. And I'm just like, oh.
Holy hell.
Yeah. Oh, so we rode Seven Dwarfs Mine Train like
That
6 times.
is too much. That's like a
Yeah.
$1 billion value.
We had to walk a lot at Disney because Polynesian is right across the street from Shades of Green, which has the monorail, which the monorail's fun. I was obsessed with
Dude,
the
you could
monorail
get
when I
more
was little.
exercise from like you could get more exercise than doing a marathon just walking from the quick stop junk food stands at Disney.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a killer on your legs.
Did you ever do the little thing where you get like the little phone and you go around Epcot, the world thing?
No, actually.
I did. It's pretty good. It used to be Kim Possible. Now it's Phineas and Ferb.
We went during Christmas, which is usually a time where like it's crowded. Everything's like 5+ hour waits.
Well, yeah, Christmas Day, like they literally shut down the park, and
I was in the park when they shut it down.
Yeah, and then they have to like as people go out, they let more people in.
Yeah.
Sorry if my audio gets worse. I have to lay down now because we've been sitting here without chairs for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah. Actually, do you know how I discerned this information about the park closing?
Why? How?
2 ladies talking very loudly behind me while I was sitting somewhere at Disney.
It's always 2 ladies talking very loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember how polygamy was illegal? Well, one time 2 ladies were talking very loudly behind me that
Stop.
that I realized it wasn't illegal, and so they were.
Would you get multiple wives if polygamy was legal, Joe?
I'm not going to answer that question. I refuse to answer that question.
It's so obnoxious that my voice keeps echoing in Mike's bass drum.
Yeah, Michael, you should put a pillow in your bass drum.
Do you know what's really nice? In Ocapella, that's our school's acapella group. It's pretty lit.
Get out of my podcast.
Well, anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty lit.
Yeah,
Also, I'm pretty dumb.
every time. No, I'm not.
Don't
I
worry
didn't
about
say that on air. Anyways, when we sing a song, we sing it in the band room, and sometimes when we finish it, we'll just hear a ringing in the bass drum, and it's real cool.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. You know what? I think 45 minutes is a good podcast. I think that we've covered a lot of ground.
Well, let's wrap this up today, children.
Can you sit up so we can wrap it up?
Let's wrap this up, children. Mike is no longer with us, so he will not be counted as a member of this podcast.
Yeah, I'll just put featuring Caleb. All right.
And now
I'm still here.
And now we are go away. And now we are uncracking the cold one.
I get it, Caleb. Caleb,
Okay.
you're not going to be on this podcast again.